Peggy 3.
As the introduction of Football Manager Classic is a real landmark event in the series' history, we're going to spend a little more time discussing it than we will with some of the other new features in FM13. Therefore, this is the first of 5 videos that we're going to devote to the subject, and we hope you enjoy them all. So, what is Football Manager Classic? Football Manager Classic, or FMC as I'm now going to call it, is a whole new way to play Football Manager. It's not a new game as such, it still features the same exhaustive database of players and 3D match engine that millions of players around the world have come to know and love in the full fat version of the game. It's simply been redesigned so that it's now quicker to play. Or, to put it another way, FMC is Football Manager for people without a lot of time on their hands. In recent years, it's become clear to us that there's a large group of people who would love to play Football Manager on their PC and Macs rather than on their smartphones with Football Manager handheld, but simply can't devote the time required to get the most out of the game. In fact, now that they have families and other commitments, even some members of the SI team have found themselves in this position as we've been growing up. So we decided to find a way to accommodate players with limited free time without significantly diluting the experience. We believe that FMC achieves this beautifully. So how does it work? Well, as FMC is essentially a slimmed down version of Football Manager, it's probably easier for the first video to start by talking about what we've taken out rather than what's actually in the game. First off, the manager operates in what's effectively a smaller game world. The level of detail offered is kept to a minimum, and there are only 3 active nations allowed at any one time. Also, the manager's training duties have been greatly reduced. There's now no need for individual training as players improve through team training and match experience. The manager also has to deal with lower input of information from the media, and interaction with the board and other staff members is kept to a minimum. When it comes to the match day itself, there are no team talks or opposition instructions. It's straight into the action, which is delivered with a new key highlight setting. And by default, the match is viewed at a slightly faster than real world speed. Also, when it comes to matches, if there's a match you don't want to manage the team in directly, or you want to speed things up to get to a really big game, you can use the new instant result option, with or without match plans, but we'll talk about that in more detail another day. All of this is brought to life through a completely redesigned user interface. We've reduced the level of competition, player and team statistics the manager has to contend with, and these are presented on a vastly reduced number of screens. The whole look and feel of the game has changed, and the player can customise many of the screens to change it even further. The result of all of this is that an FMC player should, in theory, be able to negotiate a full season in less than 10 hours of gameplay, and the challenge mode, which we'll look at in another video, will be even quicker than that. Over the course of the next few videos, we'll take a more in-depth look at some of FMC's main features, and I look forward to talking to you about it all then.